Hey everyone, Shelf Life Lego back with yet another city update, and we continue to make some good progress here in our city. Um, Added some pigeons per request by a viewer, so I appreciate that. And then again, last time we added our construction site to our city by our fire station, and I'm almost finished with this section of Mills Roads. But for today, I wanted to concentrate on this area here in front of our Egyptian Museum. Um, it's the last plate before we go into our park, which is actually going to extend from the boutique hotel all the way down to here, the end of this construction site. So we'll have a very big area for our park. We already have the botanical gardens in here and the statue, but lots of area to do things with. I've had a couple suggestions for a playground, disc golf course. So one, if not both of those, will probably be going in here at some point. But like I said, for today, I wanted to concentrate on this area right here. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so here we are over at the build desk, and I have the Mills plate all tiled and plated and ready to go. And you may be familiar with what this is, maybe not. We'll get to that here in a minute. But first, we are going to work on this area down here. So the different plate color won't matter too much. We're going to cover that up. And so we're going to start here with a 3x6 plate. Put that in here. And then we'll do another one on the other side. And then just a 2x2 in the middle here. And then we're going to surround it with some of the corner macaroni bricks that I have here. And then we're going to put a tile on top of those as well. And then I'll just go ahead and fill this in on all sides. Just like so. And create ourselves a little circular fountain area. And then we are going to put a couple of benches, one on each side of the fountain. So put some of these 1x1 round plates here. And do the same on the other side. And then we're going to use, it's a pretty basic technique. I think it's probably used by a lot of people. Just the 1x2 modified with the bar and the 1x2 modified with clip on each side here. And then again on the other side as well. And then the color that I use for my benches throughout the city is going to be dark green. So we'll add a 1x6 plate and then just tile the rest in. Like so. Over here. And do the same thing on the other side as well. And then while we have them here, I'll go ahead and put somebody on each bench. For this first one, I got this guy, just enjoying a day in the park. And then for the other side, somebody who has her cell phone with them. Put her over here, and then her hair actually has to go behind the bench. There we go with them. And in the center here, I'm going to do the part. I have a gold cone. It's going to go here in the center. And then I have a couple of these bar pieces. So one to bring it one way and then the other one to kind of bring it back to center. We'll put those in here like so. And then I have these chrome gold bricks from set 10184, the town plan from 2008. I didn't really know where else to use these in the city, so I thought this would be a good area. And I'll do similar to the fountain that comes with that set. Like so. And there we have a, I'll do it this way. Nice little fountain here. And we can move on to the next part. So over in this section, we're actually going to be doing a version of the of set 40526, the electric scooters and charging dock from 2022. And since they had the parts that came with that little set, I figured I would build something based off of those parts. So it's just basically a one-on-one or one-by-one, and then I have one other plate here to bring up to height. But then just one of these arch pieces, and then on top of that there's a one-by-one round in lime, and I have those all built out, so we'll go ahead and put those in. So just like the normal set so far, and then they have a 1x8 in the dark turquoise, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Here. And then to put a top on it, or a roof, so that the scooters don't get wet, I'm using these arch pieces here, and then in between the white grills that came in the set. Here, we'll go all the way across with these. Just a couple more. All right. Put the last grill in here. There we go. And then we can move on to the top portion. All right, so to move to the back here, we're just going to put a couple of 1x8 plates in here. And then vary it up a little bit with a 1x4 on each end. Here, and then a 1x8 in the middle. That way it gives a little more stability. And then we will line it with these 2x2 sloped curve pieces all the way across here. All right. And then finally for the front, similar as the back, we'll put in a couple of these 1x8 plates on top here, and then we're going to line the whole thing with these 2x4 slopes. we go. So that is our little scooter charging station. And the scooters from the set essentially just sitting here like that. I'll add them when I'm done because they're not attached to anything really. All right, so we can move on to the next section. So the whole idea for this section is kind of like a place in the city that you'd go to get tickets for tours, whether it's a scooter tour, bike tour, bus tour, whatever the situation is. So we're gonna build a little kiosk here that sells tickets for all of these different tours around the city. So we're gonna use some more of these macaroni bricks. Build it up in here. Oops. Put another layer of those in as well. All right. All right, so inside of our little kiosk, we're going to just put a little one of these 1x4 bar pieces with a wrench just in case anything goes wrong. And then we're gonna add, same thing, toolbox, and both of those come with the scooter set here. And then we're just gonna add a boom box back here. And then just a small till up here. And then we can go ahead and add some of our side supports, these 1x2x3 panel pieces using clear. And then for my character, I chose this torso. If you can see it, but it's got a little eye on it. I figured that was good for information. And I guess this torso is from a character called Infomaniac. And at least the torso appears in two sets. One was the Extreme Tower, which you know, since it's spelled with an X, you know it's from the early 2000s. 2002, set 6740, and also set 9247, Community Workers from 2005. So he'll be working our little kiosk here, giving out information. Put him in here. All right. And then we have someone up here buying tickets for one of the many tours across the city. And then I just had this in white, so we're going to use that just to close it all in. And then we're going to use these slope pieces in green and add those all around here. All right, and then to close it all in, just going to use some of these 4x8 plates here in green. Put one here, and then put one over on this side. All right. And then we're just going to add on top, add a bracket. It's only two sides, it's not super sturdy. And then we're just going to do this city tour sticker up here. So I think that's looking good as well. And I figured, at least in this area of the kiosk, what's going to be by the kiosk, we're going to add a couple of these little segues. In this build, I'm pretty sure it's exactly like the one that was on Robin Hood Brick's channel. So if you want the tutorial, let him do it. I don't want to take credit for that. But just to stand them up, I'm going to add a couple of these 1x1 round clear pieces. We'll do one here, ready to be rented. And then we'll do another one as well over here. All right. It's looking good, and we can move on to our bike rentals. Okay, so moving on to our bike rental area. This is actually a Bricklink designer set. It's called Bikes, and it's Bricklink set 19012 from back in 2019. And so when this came out, I'm not sure if you still can. I couldn't find directions to this set. So I honestly painstakingly watched somebody build this and stopped it and paused it, trying to figure it out. So I don't know if I got it correct. It looks pretty close and it works, so we're rolling with it. So I just have the base of the set built into the mills, and I'm not going to go through it because it's not something I designed. I'll just show you some differences. Really, the only differences is I put a 2x2 till here instead of a 1x2, and then I changed the roof was dark gray here and then yellow in the front, and I just made it all yellow just for some color. And so just to start with, we're going to put these little cheese wedges in here across the bottom. Two more. And the set can be a little fiddly because it's connected by the end of these Technic connectors, and so it doesn't have the most secure connection. And if I can get this on without destroying it, I'll be completely shocked, but we're going to go ahead and try. So we'll stick this on here. Actually, I forgot a piece. Here we go. All right. Take two. You know what? I'm just going to do it off camera. Okay, that took an embarrassingly long time. We won't talk about that. But the set's kind of cool. It goes really good in the city. We got a little tire pump here and green red lights for those bikes that are still at the stand, and those have been taken out. And it comes with this cool little pickup truck here that picks up the bikes and takes them back to the rental spot. And so that'll be going in my city as well. And I will put all these bikes in the city when I put it in place, just because they're going to flop everywhere if I do it now. And then the last couple things I have to do is I added a guy here in a Segway who's already rented one. And I figured he can be rolling away here. And then on either side of this little park area, I took a couple more 1x6 bricks and added some of the stickers from the tour bus, just to kind of give the idea that this is obviously we're going to go to sign up for the tours. I'm just going to stick those on either side here, and then one over here as well. So I think that is pretty much the entire little park here. Like I said, I will add the bikes and the scooters when I get it into the city. But for now, I think that's good. So let's see what it looks like in the city. All right, so here we have our little tour section, tour ticket booth and rentals in place here in the city. And so I think it adds a little bit of life and is a good filler for this area in between the museum and the park. And it will continue to bleed into the park in some way. And here we have the worker loading bikes onto the bus. A couple people who have rented out scooters and are taking off. And then here you have your bikes that are still in the stall. And then here we have our tour signs. And I said the tour bus would come up here and pick up people from this site and then go around the tour. I have this older bus that will be in use as well, but I'm going to put in the newer one as well. I got to dust this one off. But yeah, so I'll use the newer tour bus and put that in the city here in the near future, but just wanted to get this in place. So let me know what you think. See if you have any suggestions or comments if you like it or not. But I think for now that's going to do it. So as always, like, comment, subscribe. It's super helpful. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.